Hi there, I'm Chef Bill at the Culinary Institute of America. Sometimes when you make muffins or cakes, you're going to run across a recipe that suggests that you should whip egg whites and fold them into a batter as a way of aerating the batter. I don't know if you feel comfortable doing that, but I'm going to show you a couple of tips that'll make sure that every time you do it, you get it right. So first things first, when you put the egg whites in there, make sure there is no egg yolks in them at all. Any amount of fat will be a problem. It'll keep the egg whites from whipping up their loftiest. Likewise, the bowl that you're working with and the whip need to be perfectly clean. So no grease there. Now, once you're sure of that, we can begin this process of whipping. And you'll start to notice that these go through very predictable stages. Initially, you break down sort of the mucilaginous quality, and they begin to turn a little bit white. But if you look, they're still very, very liquid. Little by little, we'll continue to whip, and the proteins will begin to denature. The strands of protein will stretch out, and they'll form a structure, and that structure can trap air inside. That's exactly what we're banking on. We want the air that's being trapped in this egg whites to make our batter light. If your egg whites can be room temperature, so much the better. I'll tell you that fresh eggs don't whip up nearly as well as eggs that are a couple of days old. That's really out of your control unless you've got chickens in your backyard. All right, now you can see these are still liquid, but they're completely white and they've gained easily 200% in volume. Keep after it. Or get out a mixer and let the mixer do the hard work. What you'll notice as you look in this bowl is that this mixture still looks moist. Now they're holding a ribbon as I draw this across, but they still look moist. That's an important idea because when they stop getting moist, they start to get a little bit dry and brittle. And when you try and fold them into a batter, that dry and brittle foam just breaks apart. Now, if you look, you can see they're holding a very distinct ribbon. And we're going to redouble our effort. I'm even going to lift it up a little bit and put some air in there. Now I can even mound them up. So we're getting close. If your arm is tired, the goal is in sight. I really want to get a lot of air in there. Now, I have what's known as soft peaks. You see the peak come up, and then it droops over just a little bit. That is a good sign. That's the next step. The other thing that you'll notice is that this still looks pretty moist. So the last thing I want to do, I want to whip these until I get to moist peaks that hold their shape. And we're just about there. Moist means they'll fold in really nicely. And when they do, you can see they're close. Oh, so close. There it is. Comes up and it holds a peak. It still looks shiny and nice and moist. Now, what I want to do is take the whip and set that aside. Imagine this is a cake batter, a waffle batter, a muffin batter. We're going to fold these egg whites into this batter. I'm going to do it in 3 separate parts. So the first third goes in, and what they're going to do is lighten this batter. There's not much chance that the air that I whipped in there will stay behind because the batter is so thick. But now, already, with that first addition, the batter has become a little bit lighter. Now, with the second third, I'm going to be a little bit more careful. I'm going to cut down through the middle and bring the batter up on the outside and over. And I can see this batter getting lighter with every stroke. This will make for a very tender cake or a muffin that rises up nice and high. And then finally, the last addition, cut through and bring the Spatula up and over the top. Cut down the middle, come up the outsides. All right, there we go. I've folded the egg whites in. There are no streaks of egg whites, but now I stop because I don't want to knock all the air that I worked so hard to put into the egg whites out by overmixing them. So just to recap the process, we have egg whites with no egg yolk in them. We have a clean bowl. We have a clean whip, and we whip them until they hold moist peaks, at which point we fold a third of the egg whites into the batter. We'll probably lose a good deal of the air, but when we add the second and the third parts of the egg whites, the batter will get very light. It'll make for really terrific muffins, for feather-light pancakes, delicious crispy waffles, and your success really rides on understanding this technique and just following the simple steps.